Hi there, this is Farrah Shanelle, and you're about to learn a little bit more about me on the Audio Infusion Green Room Sessions. Who is Farrah Shanelle? Well, first and foremost, I'm a daughter, I am a mother, I am a sister, I am an entrepreneur, and I'm a lover of all music. The FSCO agency is multifaceted. I got an opportunity to do a lot of things in this industry, which gave me, a leg up on everything. When I was working with Unruly, I got to do everything from, marketing to music buying to you name it. So everything became very multifaceted. I decided to put my degree to work, and so from there I started to do artist development, brand marketing, and event and production planning. What have I done to make my business grow? Well, truth be told, I've been in this city for a long time, and I've done a lot of things in New York and in Atlanta. So at this point in time, about 75% of my business comes from word of mouth or people that I've worked with before. But just starting out, I had to grind it out just like everybody else. I had a little bit of street team accounts. I had some events that I was planning. People would hire me to put on shows and concerts for them, and it just grew from there. But long story short, I had to grind it out just like everyone else. So there's no easy win with this. It took years for me to get to the point where, like I said, 75% of my business now is strictly word of mouth. I don't do much advertisement. That is a good question. It's tragic. Listen, I've known a lot of people in this business for a very long time, Patrick Science being one of them. And the grind is something that is very, very real. We're talking about a 20-year struggle. So when I see artists and they don't have the basics, it's all right to have your Twitter and your Instagram and, Snapchat and all of the things pertaining to social media. But when you don't have the basic foundations of what you need to do as an artist, like, as far as performance prep, you need breath control, you need endurance, you need to be able to move across that stage and let the people, if you have it in your head that you are going to be performing in front of 10,000 people or 50,000 people, they got to be able to see you in the back row. So performance prep, that's one of them. And making sure that your craft is something that you take seriously, not just getting on stage and just going willy-nilly. Some people got it and they got that natural talent, but some of them have to be developed. So when I see people that don't put the time and effort into their craft, or the development into their craft, whether it's writing or performance prep or just how you conduct yourself in the studio, then it can crash and burn really fast. So when I give advice and I see people later on and they don't take it, or they're still on that same grind, it becomes a little bit tragic. But as long as they're still doing it, I'm all for it. I have to pinpoint most recently, I currently work for a wonderful company called Feed the Scene. I'm the logistics director for Feed the Scene. Shout out to Rachel and the whole tribe over at FTS. And just being a part of that company and them being able to come to me and say, we need a great hip hop show. Let's do it. So we got a great team over there. And just recently we put on a show at the Anthem in DC, and 6,000 people, completely sold out, and it was starring none other than the legendary Mos Def, aka Yasin Bey, and Talib Kweli. Now, when I tell you this show was memorable, Dead Prez opened up, shout out to DP, and it was just one of the most beautiful things I had ever seen. I mean, there was no trauma, there was no drama, people were falling out left and right, and it was just great all the way around. But it was also one of the hardest things that I had to do, because at this point I was running the show, with a whole team. And so, greatest thing and the hardest thing all at the same time, but most good stuff is. And you're going to find that to be the case with any great thing that you do. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. So that's the painful part. But then the outcome of having a sold out show and a $60 million facility, and you have no occurrences at all, and it's hip hop. That was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen in my life. So, that was the best and the worst all wrapped up into one. Well, I've been in music for as long as I can remember. There's always been music in my house. My mother was a lover of all types of wonderful R&B artists, from Phyllis Hyman to Patti LaBelle, and then my father was a lover of jazz, so I listened to everything from Sam Cooke to Nancy Wilson to Cannonball Adderley. And it wasn't until maybe 8 or 9 years old that I started to fall in love with hip hop. After that, it was a wrap. I actually started in this business as a dancer. I am a graduate of the School for the Arts, and I went there for dance and theater. And, up until my 20s, I thought that that's what I was going to do with the rest of my life. I'm in college, and I said, I need to figure out what I need to do to get into this business the way I need to get into this business. But life being what it is, I then soon realized in the course of my college career that I had a niche for doing something else. So did a lot of street team work for labels, did some radio calls, and I was like, wait a minute, this is probably where I need to be, on the other side of the stage. Of course, my parents were totally disappointed, but proud none the same, just the same. After that, it was full steam ahead. From there, I came back home after school and I started bartending, and I met up with a gentleman by the name of Frank Johnson, who at the time was working for Def Jam, and took me under his wing, showed me how to do, take the street team stuff to the next level. So we started doing marketing and promotions. And then a few years into that, I started working for Unruly with Sean Caesar. And so I had some great folks around me, teaching me the craft and teaching me how to get to the next level. And from there, I started to do marketing work for Sony and Universal, and it just kind of grew from there. I realized one day that I needed to work for myself, so the FSCO agency was born, but I would still work for hire. So well, future plans, the sky's the limit. I can honestly say that at this point, my whole purpose is to create memorable shows and experiences for people to have memories to. And, fortunately, I work for a company now that has enabled me to do that. When I tell you I have 1,000,001 ideas in my head to make my company better, to make my business better, to make myself better as a mother, better as a daughter, better as a sister, they're all wrapped up into one. And all I know is that at this point and at my age, I can't see myself doing anything without music in my life. So, sky's the limit. Well, there is a whole lot of people to thank. God being first and foremost. Without him, I would never know my purpose or my path. It's very easy to get lost in this business, and not very many people find their way back. So thank you, God, for guidance. Thank you to my mother and father for putting me in the arts early and letting me understand the importance of getting your vision out to the world. My son for being the love and light of my life, because I do it all for him. And shout out to all of my clients, past, present, and future. Shout out to Feed the Scene, Bart Shiflett, Rachel Taft, Kaylee, the whole tribe. Hi, everybody. And all of the people that were willing to open themselves up and teach me what it is that they know. So peace and blessings, and thank you for that.